Here's a simple truth. Your smartphone camera is probably good enough. Your hands are the problem. Today, I'm not reviewing specs. Instead, I'll show you 7 practical filming ideas you can use right away with the DJI Osmo Mobile 8. Let's inspect. The first scene is intentionally very easy to execute. Technically, you can achieve this shot purely in post-production if you have a very steady clip. But many smartphone gimbals offer it as a built-in mode, usually called vertigo or dolly zoom. The effect is named after Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, but today I'll reference Chief Brody on the beach in Jaws, the moment after the shark attack when tension and emotion spike. Here's how to do it manually. Open the DJI Mimo app, select Dyna Zoom effect, choose your subject, this activates face tracking, and you simply move away. That's it. Simple, repeatable, very effective. The second scene is inspired by The Dark Knight. You've seen this technique countless times. Smooth, circular motion while someone talks. The camera orbits the character, making them feel powerful, conflicted, dominant. In The Dark Knight, it's done very subtly, just slow, controlled, almost invisible. I actually do similar shots quite often in my reviews, sometimes with drones, sometimes handheld, especially when I want to isolate and highlight a product. With a gimbal, here's the approach. Use pan-follow mode, so only the horizontal movement is tracked. If the subject stands up or changes height, switch to pan-tilt follow or all follow and move slowly, really slowly, and make sure to adjust the gimbal position gently. If you need to walk, make sure you use the ninja walk technique. It dramatically reduces vertigo shake. You can also use motion tracking, just like in the first scenario, but this time in regular video mode. If you want a more cinematic result, I'd recommend using a pro-grade camera app and doing it manually while keeping the shutter rule in place. Next one is quite simple conceptually, but this is where the extra magic really matters. Think back of Goodfellas from 1990. We follow the character from behind, holding the stabilizer. Without a gimbal, and especially a cheap phone, this is usually a terrible idea. With a gimbal and the right kind of settings, suddenly becomes smooth, immersive, very pleasant to the eye. This is one of those shots where stabilization makes all the difference. For the record, I'd avoid the all-lock mode because perfect stabilization is never that fun. Use the POV mode and enjoy the dynamics. Now, let's move to the reveal technique inspired by the classic Jurassic Park scene where the Brachiosaurus is revealed for the first time. Honestly, the camera move itself is great, but also the facial reaction of the lady, also priceless. Gimbals are amazing for these slow, controlled pans that reveal something gradually. Not just animals, but buildings, landscapes, or any breathtaking moments. For this shot, gonna configure the gimbal with very slow response settings, use the all-follow mode so that I can freely adjust the angle and direction, and for even better results, you can shoot in 24 frames per second, follow the 180-degree shutter rule, and record in ProRes or log if your phone supports that. Next, I want us to mimic a low-angle power shot. This is all about authority and presence. Here, I'm referencing the Batman. Very simple shots, but incredibly powerful. With a phone and a gimbal, low angles actually work in your favor. They hide microshakes and exaggerate motion beautifully. To achieve this, use the pan-tilt follow mode, angle the camera slightly upward, move slowly forward or gently lift up. If you need an even lower perspective, flip the gimbal upside down, and with this extendable stick, it becomes surprisingly convenient. Next, let's talk about micromotion product shots. My own comfort zone, the kind that instantly gives a commercial feel. Here the inspiration is from the Steve Jobs movie. We're talking close-ups with barely visible camera movement, subtle drift, almost unnoticeable yet very dramatic. Yes, you can do this even without a gimbal, but that requires patience, precise breathing, and extremely stable posture. Using a gimbal in such scenarios simply makes more sense. I would set pan, tilt, follow, dial in the angle and distance, keep the movement minimal. If you need slightly more aggressive motion, you can even use tracking as a workaround. Finally, probably the most common use case for smartphone gimbals, this time expression comes from Before Sunrise from 1995, but you can see literally everywhere, natural conversations, flowing movement, no flashy camera work. This is perfect for exhibitions, vlogging, presentations, weddings, and many other real-world scenarios. Practice the ninja walk to reduce wobble, and if you're outdoors, use an ND filter for more natural motion blur, because without filters, footage is gonna look sharper, still usable, just less pleasant. It's no surprise that today there are entire movies shot entirely on a smartphone, so if your phone videos still look amateur, you can see that there are a few parameters that you can probably improve. Could be not just the camera, could be stability, movement, intention, and apart from post-production and settings, this gimbal, the Osmo Mobile 8, is an extremely powerful tool with extra battery life, easy to access controls, and even that little tracking module over here which can allow subject tracking without using the smartphone app. For one-person creators, that's a blessing. But today we looked at the Osmo Mobile 8 from a slightly different perspective, as a filmmaking tool, not just a gadget.